Now, now, I listen at the news and I take it very serious, not out of prejudice, but as you see the black horse God had on Revelation chapter 6, he had a pair of balances. The white horse, one had a bow, other one had a sword, and the other one had nuclear weapons. Had hell probably the pale horse. But there was only one horse in Revelation chapter 6 that had balance. And I said, I was that man. I'm the prophet. That meaning that I don't sit and take side on a black man because he's black, and I don't take no side of a white man because he's white. But I take and weigh out both sides, and I use a balance point and see why one is thus and the other is this, and one is this and the other is thus. I say this here. Why is this? When I see the most trouble in the black neighborhoods and all this, and when I see the most peoples who's catering to the will of the United States of America, and I see their track record, it becomes a giant tail 3 million miles long, 2,000 years long, that all you have to do is look at the tail and you see his image and everything. So I see this here. This is something he can't hide because his ways and his what he do have become a product of him, which have become his identity. And when I look at all the deception, how it was carried out against us, and how they acted out against me personally, it connects him to that little pop, which don't nobody see. And these things which we don't consider, they use them against us. Even the black people that they give, and they enhance them and make them rich because they know if we get a focus point, we get to looking at the richness of being rich and wealthy and famous. He know that the only way he's going to allow you to be rich, wealthy, and famous and be a great entertainer, you got to cater to him some kind of way. You got to be a vessel for him some kind of way. What he can use. If he can't use you and you have strayed away and done something against the grain, then you got Blackwater out there to contend with. Anything to contend with. Even if you're a white man out there and not done what he said to. This is the mindset of Satan. Therefore, I said they can't give me nothing, they can't buy me nothing, they can't sell me nothing. They made many attempts on my life, probably still is, but it doesn't matter to me. But what disturbs me when if somebody just pop up out of the outer scene and say, God, just don't talk to nobody, if you go out there and people's out there on the tree, sitting up on the tree, and they sit out there and talk loud and all of them airing their dirty laundry. You're taking a page out of my mother's vocabulary library. She said they out there airing their dirty laundry, and somebody be men's, you know, they're airing their dirty underwear. So what they do, they sit up and say things to draw attention, to get praise, to diverge somebody. But the part is, the seriousness of it, we got to take and change our focus point. Quit looking at all of these things that we use for modern day entertainment, or do things, go get drunk and go get high for modern day entertainment, or whatever you done that foul in the body. And we got to stop and look at what happened that at Hurricane Katrina. What was your government? Then over there. We have to do these things. They responded over there to Port-au-Prince, but we're better than they did Hurricane Katrina. You have to understand what the mindset of the little fox is. But I saw this on the news, they went to their people over there and they got their people out, see who was there. So now we see these things happening. How these things, we have to look at the remaining of the story, see how it panned itself out. The reason I say this, as God sent me here to prepare the way for the return of Jesus Christ. These are the things that he gave me as significant facts to look for. he spoke to me concerning the matter, how all of these things was forming themselves and taking place. These were the things. And then when I go and compare them with the Bible prophecy, then I will understand the significance of all of these facts. Now, let me go and show you the earthquakes we just had, the warships. This happened Iraq and Iran over 10 years ago. All of these is corresponding in with one another. Even Hurricane Katrina. And all of the earthquakes, you got to count all of those earthquakes was happening in India and to tsunami up in that area. All this after the invasion of these nations over here. And let you know there's more to come. Even though they are not coming every day, they're going to increase. And a high volume of troops being sent over there in the wintertime. All of this is in St. Matthew's, right in the same realm of each other. They become part of the Bible prophecy. And you have to do it just like you do a quilt. As a quilt is made up of many pieces, you have to take and put all of these things together and see how do they match with Bible prophecy. And then if they match, you see, but these are not the words of mindset because they was written in Bible prophecy over 2,000 years ago. So there's no way that I could say that God talked to me and you sit and anybody sit up and said that, well, he said God talked to him. Why didn't you say Nostradamus? Why don't you say God didn't talk to Nostradamus? I'm a black man up here, and I know they're going to sit up there and say God ain't talking to me. This is what I'm talking about. But I'm going to keep on telling the truth. Maybe there's somebody out there that's going to hear me. I have to come through Allah. So like Jesus said, a prophet has no honor among his own. His own will be against him first. I seen that when Barack Obama was running for president. There was a voice cried out, said just because he is one of us, that doesn't mean he is for us. But yet he's a black man. See what I'm talking about? I see these things and they lock in my mind because God placed him there. Let me tell you a story. I'm going to come back to this and tell you a vision that's been written down over and over again. And I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get it in here, but I'm going to say it anyway. You know, God gave me a vision, I believe the year of 2000, or maybe before, somewhere in there. I seen this people walking along the shores of a beachfront. And there was this old ball that was laying up there that everybody, every time one come by, he picks up and he slings it out in the tide of this ocean. Next morning, something would be have brought this ball back and be laying up there again. And the next pass by, taking, he throws it out in the tide. And about the third day came, there was this old man with the toddling on the beach with his apron on. And he picked this bottle up, and as I stood in that vision waiting to see what would he do with this bottle, will he take and throw it out there? The ones had no wisdom, who was the younger of them, they kept throwing out in tide, seeing how fucking they cast it into the tide, and each day they cast it in the tide, the next day it found a way back. But this, he was an old man, was feeble. So he took and carried this bottle home, and I looked at it, and as he cleaned this bottle and polished it, held up to the sun, and he placed it before him, there was one vacant spot left in this rack, was triangle. As this old man sat down in this dark place, in this old dark chair, and sat down there and placed that found bottle in this rack that looked like a pool table rack, the whole lights of heaven and lights shining up. This was telling me there was one more prophet out there that had to go and patrol. And they got down to the last prophet. And even though the world rejected him, God reached down and picked him up. And he claimed him for his own and put him out there on his mission. I am that man. I am the messenger of the covenant